All right. It is Saturday, October 12th, 2019 at 4:20 p.m. 4:20. Anyways, it is an active Saturday. There is a lot going on in the news today. Let's get to it. Typhoon, earthquake, and tornado hit Japan, shutting down cities with evacuations. Also, before in the evening, the purple sky warns of a dangerous typhoon in Japan, as you see here in the pictures. Alright, let's read this. People living in Tokyo and across Japan were on the highest alert on Saturday, with heavy downpours flooding the area as multiple natural disasters struck the island. A typhoon Hagibis, which translates to speed in Filipino, approached landfall. The U.S. Geological Survey registered a 5.3 magnitude earthquake centered off the coast of Tokyo. It was considered to be a deep quake, which can cause less damage compared to more shallow ones. So a 5.7 earthquake hit the area. A tornado also ripped through Chiba, a town north of Tokyo. At least 5 people were injured. According to local reports, at least one person has died as a result of the typhoon, and more than 50 were injured. At the time of the publication, 4 people were reported missing. Alright, let's go to the next story. Hard rock construction collapse, still dangerous. Dead, many hurt. So apparently in New Orleans, in the Hard Rock Cafe, there was a construction building, and it collapsed, and it killed one person. It says, emergency officials are on the scene of partial building collapse at the Hard Rock Hotel construction site in New Orleans. According to the emergency medical services officials, one person is dead, 3 people are unaccounted for, and 18 have been taken to an area hospital for treatment. A total of 19 people have been treated so far. Here is a small clip of the collapse happening. I don't know if you guys have seen it online yet, but I will leave a link for this page so you can see the video itself. You can see people running in the distance as the part of the building collapses, and they're just covered in rubble, and that is so scary. I am glad that people were okay and sent to the hospital, but sad that one person passed away. Noel already said that New Orleans Fire Department, New Orleans EMS, and New Orleans Police Department are responding to the structural collapse at Canal and North Rampart Streets. Officials said this is an active scene and asked people to avoid this area at this time. Emergency officials say there is a concern for a secondary collapse. The city of New Orleans said the frame of the building is considered stable but is unsupported. Therefore, the situation is considered dangerous and mandatory evacuations have been issued. Evacuations are underway for the areas in red in this map. So pretty much the building, as you see, let me see if I can zoom in better. The building, as you see here, is pretty much collapsed on one side, and that area isn't secured, so it could possibly still continue collapsing. So the area is still a danger. So don't go to this area if you live in New Orleans or are in the area. Alright. It says here, streets being evacuated include buildings in the red zone known by the uptown side of Bienville, riverside of Basin Street, downtown side of Canal Street, and lakeside of Burgundy Street. So these are the areas to avoid if you are in that area. Alright, next story. Pop up. Next story. California firefighters battling multiple fires as officials warns residents of heavy smoke. Wildlife explode across Los Angeles, thousands ordered to leave. Wildfires explode across Los Angeles, thousands ordered to leave. Firefighters in California are scrambling to contain multiple wildfires fueled by gusty offshore winds. The largest in Southern California, that Saddle Ridge fire in Los Angeles, was 19% contained on Saturday, according to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. The fire has destroyed 31 homes and burned more than 7,500 acres. The Los Angeles Fire Department said more than 1,000 firefighters have been battling the flames and about 100,000 people were forced to evacuate their homes. Officials are allowing some residents under mandatory evacuation to go home and retrieve essential items, but only under police escort. The National Weather Service issued a red flag warnings until 6 p.m. on Saturday for Los Angeles and surrounding areas. Gusty offshore winds and very low humidity are increasing in the risk of fires spreading, the Weather Service said. The South Coast Air Quality Management District is telling residents to protect themselves from heavy smoke and unhealthy air conditions. Alright. Also, snow is happening. Snowstorm closes North Dakota interstates. Highway Patrol assists dozens of stranded motorists. Winter storm is happening in the middle of the country. Drivers in North Dakota were told to stay off the roads. Portions of Interstate 94 and Interstate 29 were closed. The North Dakota Highway Patrol said that they had helped at least 50 stranded vehicles. A man died after a crash on an icy road in Nebraska. The National Guard and other emergency resources were put on alert Friday in North Dakota, and a crippling snowstorm that is bringing high winds and drifting snow to parts of the northern plains. The storm has plummeted several states. Authorities said that 20-year-old Nebraska man died Thursday night when he lost control of his vehicle in an icy highway near Chadron in northwestern Nebraska. Radio station KNEB reported the vehicle rolled over. The man, identified as Adam Hawk, was pronounced dead at the scene. 2 passengers in the vehicle were injured. Portions of at least 2 interstate highways in North Dakota were shut down Friday as officials warned to stay home and avoid all non-emergency travel. I-94 was closed westbound from Bismarck to Fargo and eastbound from Bismarck to Valley City. According to the North Dakota Highway Patrol, I-29 was closed in both directions between Grand Forks and the Canadian border. A portion of U.S. Highway 2 was also closed. So they're dealing with that. And also we have Subtropical Storm Melissa is moving away from the east coast, but still bringing some coastal flooding on Saturday. Subtropical Storm Melissa is moving away from the northeast coast. The system is producing coastal flooding, beach erosion, and rough surf and rip currents along the eastern seaboard. Subtropical Storm Melissa formed late Friday morning and remains close enough to the east coast to bring impacts to the eastern seaboard, including coastal flooding and high surf. The center of Melissa is located just over 250 miles southeast of Nantucket, Massachusetts. Melissa is moving away from the east coast, which will allow conditions to improve along the coast. So it's carrying wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour on Nantucket Island and 59 miles per hour in Princeton and Wellfleet, Massachusetts. Strong wind gusts downed one tree on a vehicle in the South Boston suburb of Dedham, Massachusetts. Wednesday night, according to the National Weather Service, there were numerous other reports of trees and wires down across southeastern Massachusetts Thursday and Friday. Coastal flooding during Wednesday and Thursday evening's high tides shut down sections of US 30 and US 40 west of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Part of US 30 was also closed due to flooding again Friday evening. State Highway 47 in Wildwood, New Jersey was also closed due to coastal flooding. The midday Friday high tide flooded US 40 west of Atlantic City once again, prompting the right lane to be closed. The westbound side of US 9 in Absecon, New Jersey was also flooded during this high tide, causing all lanes to be closed and detoured. So there's a lot happening this Saturday. So very active for a Saturday, but pretty much we went over typhoon, earthquake, and tornado in Japan. What else? We went over hard rock collapse, the California fires, snow closures in the North Dakotas, and subtropical storm hitting the East Coast. Pray for all these people, and see you guys next time. Hit like and subscribe for more videos. And remember, we have a sponsor, Dave's Empire 1981, in the description below. Check out his shop. He does amazing art on shoes and hats. If you would like some art, check him out. Alright guys, see you next time. God bless.